From the mind and mouth of Eddie Murphy.
Don't go in there!
Don't go in there!
Don't go in there.
The PJs. Series preview next Sunday after The Simpsons. The projects have something for everyone. Drive-bys.
Now I'm putting my foot down. Oh!
Get out of my way!
Crime.
Freeze! What do you think I'm doing?
And crack on every corner.
Got a crack pipe! Crack pipe!
Eddie Murphy stars in The PJs.
Gunfire's coming from the west tonight.
Series preview next Sunday on Fox. From the mind and mouth of Eddie Murphy.
Did you find out why the hot water's not working?
Yeah, the hot water ain't working because your daddy ain't working.
An outrageous new series about a building super.
Yeah, I thought not.
Who's an expert on life.
Look at the size of this stone. This is one big El Negro.
The PJs. Catch a special series preview.
What?
Next Sunday on Fox.
What'd you say to a nice back rub? You know, I got very strong hands from working on pipes. I can get that knot out your back.
In 1999, a singular and strikingly unconventional sitcom quietly arrived on Fox, The PJs, an adult-oriented stop-motion clay animation series co-created by Eddie Murphy, Larry Wilmore, and Steve Tompkins. It was unlike anything else on television at the time, irreverent, visually arresting, and audacious in its subject matter. Set in the fictional Lawrence Hilton Jacobs public housing project, loosely based on Detroit's storied Brewster Douglas complex, the show followed the life of Thurgood Stubbs, the overworked and often overwhelmed building superintendent, as he navigated daily chaos, crumbling infrastructure, and an ensemble of eccentric yet deeply human residents. Murphy lent his voice and comedic cadence to Thurgood, with Phil Morris occasionally filling in, anchoring the series with a mixture of exaggerated bluster and unexpected vulnerability. The cast also included the rich vocal talents of Loretta Devine, Jeanette Dubois, and Jennifer Lewis icons in their own right, who brought nuance and soul to their animated counterparts. Behind the scenes, The PJs was a heavyweight production. It was brought to life through the rare convergence of major forces Ron Howard and Brian Grazer's Imagine Entertainment, Will Vinton's legendary stop-motion animation studio, and music by George Clinton in collaboration with Quincy Jones's son, Quincy Jones III. Remarkably, it marked Disney's very first foray into adult animation with Touchstone Television, a Disney imprint, airing the first 2 seasons. The show is a visual and technical marvel, dubbed Foamation for its distinctive use of foam rubber puppets and stop motion. Each 22-minute episode took more than 2 months to craft, frame by painstaking frame. Every set, every flicker of movement was molded by hand concrete walls and peeling paint, broken elevators and dim hallways, all rendered with a tactility that made the fictional housing project feel strangely real. There was beauty in the grime and dignity in the detail. The sheer labor involved in its creation was a quiet act of devotion to an often overlooked world. Critics were quick to acknowledge the craftsmanship. Distinctive and visually appealing, wrote Deseret News, marveling at the show's arresting look, even if early reviews questioned whether the humor landed. Some dismissed it as style over substance, suggesting that The PJs was more spectacle than sitcom. But what they may have missed was how the show dared to center lives rarely portrayed with any complexity on primetime television. Beneath its broad humor and cartoonish exaggerations was a rough-edged compassion, an attempt, however imperfect, to reflect the joy, struggle, absurdity, and resilience of urban life. Over its 43 episodes from 1999 to 2001, The PJs wove together social satire, slapstick, and moments of surprising tenderness. It didn't always hit the mark, but when it did, it offered glimpses of truth that most sitcoms wouldn't touch. In its clay figures and cluttered backdrops was a reflection of systemic neglect, generational endurance, and black life, as it is rarely rendered through a lens at once critical and affectionate. More than 2 decades later, The PJs remains an outlier, a creative risk that still feels bold. It occupies a unique place in animation and television history, a short-lived, stop-motion dreamscape of concrete and community, of frustration and fierce pride. It was messy, it was flawed, and it was unforgettable.
Will Vinton has been bringing clay to life for more than 15 years, but nothing before has attracted attention like the California raisins.
It just hit that cultural nerve when people became aware of this process of claymation, and they wanted to be part of it.
Michael, you know, we should do you as California raisin. Yeah!
Will wanted this to feel like you were in his clay world.
Yeah!
Furniture was made out of clay, the walls were clay, the pictures on the wall were clay.
You would not believe what it felt like to walk through that place. It was like magic.
The studio was all over the media at the time. It was the shit.
We were rebels, we were in Portland, we were doing stop motion. We didn't have big money behind us. It was just like the little studio that could.
He really wanted to be the next Walt Disney.
And it looked as if maybe that were happening.
The winner is Closed Mondays, Will Vinton and Bob Gardner.
Together they were a perfect team. They really hit gold.
This is fantastic.
He just all of a sudden got to be super big and the animation icon.
We really scaled it up. 35 million revenue.
400 people. I'm impressed.
Will's enthusiasm was the company's greatest asset and probably the greatest danger.
When people give you a lot of money, there are expectations. They get to call a lot of shots.
Thank you for turning me on.
Will started with just clay and a camera, and it just got out of hand.
It wouldn't be uncommon to get a phone call in the middle of the night, and it's Bob Gardner railing about Will.
He threatened to assassinate Will Vinton at the Rose Festival parade.
Things had gotten so strange there. By the time they were doing the PJs and Gary and Mike, I would say it was a completely different company.
Then the shows got canceled, and he was stuck with this big debt.
Kicked to the curb of his own company? How could he build all this up and then it gets taken away?
For him to lose his company and then not be able to use his name was just like horrifying.
It was just of a particular time, this beautiful little spot, and the people who got to be part of it were lucky to be part of it.
Everything I've done is a build, is something that I've built one thing on top of the other, and the next thing I do is informed by all of those other things. I love being able to feel like my life is a continuum, that things that may have felt like they might have been missteps was not at all a misstep.
The show's setting and characters were more than just clever caricatures, they were lovingly and thoughtfully drawn, offering a raw, humorous, and at times poignant window into life at the margins. At the heart of the PJs stood Thurgood Orenthal Stubbs, a gruff, exasperated, and deeply human, a man perpetually at war with his crumbling building, the system that underfunds it, and the endless cascade of tenant complaints. A working-class anti-hero in the tradition of Fred Sanford or Archie Bunker, Thurgood was both a comic figure and a symbol of resilience. Voiced by Eddie Murphy, his short temper and stubborn pride often masked a deep weariness, and occasionally a flicker of compassion. In a world that rarely gave him a break, he fought to keep the lights on sometimes, literally with little recognition and even less thanks. At his side, grounding him with empathy and quiet strength, was Muriel Stubbs, voiced with warmth and grace by Loretta Devine. She served as the moral center of the series, gently guiding Thurgood away from his worst impulses, often with a sigh, a knowing look, or a pointed word. Their relationship brought emotional depth to the show, revealing a marriage tested daily by frustration, but held together by mutual care and shared history. Muriel wasn't just the wife character, she was the beating heart of the building, representing patience, faith, and quiet endurance in a place where very little came easy.
They think I got nothing better to do than spend all day messing with this pipe.
Hey, Super, did you find out why the hot water's not working?
Yeah, the hot water ain't working because your daddy ain't working. You tell your daddy get a job and pay the gas bill, then you got some hot water coming to you. Until then, y'all go on and chill. That's what you kids say, chill, right? Well, now you know what it means to chill. Now go on and keep it real. Yeah, that ought to do it. Yeah, I thought not.
Thanks, Super.
Now, remember, I give you my guarantee. If y'all break it again, I guarantee you I'm not coming back up here.
Come over and give us some food.
Juicy, what's going on here?
It's a rat. We chasing it out.
Just leave it be. Hey there, little rascal. No, that ain't no rat, that's a dog. No pets allowed. Go on, shoot. How'd that dog get in here, Calvin?
Come in the front door, Super. It's broken again.
Again? I just fixed the door last week.
You call that fixed?
Son of a Billy.
Look at that tacky job you done. It makes me sick.
Don't believe this. People can't take care of nothing.
And then we got filth coming in here all hours of the day and night. Do you know there was a wino relieving himself in the stairwell? I had to chase him out.
So is the bathroom free now?
You do not belong in here, you damn crackhead. Go smoke your crack, please.
For your information, I'm trying to quit. See? I'm wearing a crack patch.
That is a Band-Aid, Mr. Crack.
That would explain the less than satisfactory results.
Go on, get out of here.
Wait! You want to buy a watch?
Why the devil would I want to buy a watch from you?
It's yours.
What? Give me that. $6.59? Oh, no. Can't talk, gotta go.
Hey! Hey! What about this riffraff?
Thurgood, do you know what time it is?
Of course I know what time it is. Help me get ready.
Oh, you know, this is why I always write things down. You notice I never miss my stories. Ooh, like when Crystal tried to take over the Cortland apricot plantation.
No blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Jesus, for the wheel.
You know, Thurgood, I was talking with a couple of the tenants today. Did you know there's a problem with the front door?
Pick a T, pick a T. A K? Who the hell asked for a K? There ain't no K's in there. Unbelievable.
I was talking to the Ramos boy from 211.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that hijacked that armored car. Ain't he a fugitive from justice?
Yes, he could only talk a minute. Anyway, he said with all these strangers waltzing through here, he doesn't feel safe anymore. Well, someone brought up the notion of a tenants meeting. You know, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you are not dragging me to no tenants meeting. I've been working all day and I'm staying right here in this chair.
Well, that's exactly what I told them. Come on in, everybody.
With that door broken, what's to stop some strange man from coming all up in here and having his way with me?
The long-ass line.
They're good. That's my sister.
Yo, what I'm concerned about is this black-on-black crime. 'Cause we brothers gotta look out for our Nubian sisters.
What the hell is he talking about? He ain't black. You are from Korea.
Some nut keeps coming in here leaving hot food outside my door. What kind of sickness is that?
It's called Meals on Wheels.
Call it what you want. It makes me Now look what you gone and done. You done gave me a stroke. Thank you. Now you gonna fix that door up there good?
Yeah, we gonna fix it. Why should I? Y'all stampede on it, bleed on it. I think some of y'all even peed on it. Yeah, look at you, look at you. Let me tell y'all something, and I'm only gonna say this once. I'll fix that door when y'all fix your attitude and start taking care of what you got.
People, we don't need no door to protect us. No. Mumbo Garcelle got the cure. First you take a chicken heart, put it on a juju stick, and place it in the doorway. Anybody come within 3 feet, their lungs turn black as coal.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now there's somebody really doing their homework. There's only one little small flaw in your slaw. How the hell are we supposed to get in the building? You didn't think of that, did you, hated lady?
Voodoo, I got more voodoo in my...
Muriel, take some advice from your big sister. Tell Thurgood as long as that door stays open, you stay closed.
Okay.
Well, in Thurgood's defense, he has fixed it a lot.
Preach to him, Muriel, preach.
I think what we need is a new door.
What?
It's the only solution, Goody.
Yeah! New door! Or you'll be sorry.
Y'all chant all y'all want. Y'all ain't getting no new door.
Please, this place is safe.
Hey, where's my 40?
I'd say it's more like a 15 now.
What the... Muriel, I think it's time we get a new door.
Surrounding the Stubbses was a vibrant, chaotic, and unmistakably human community. There was Calvin and Juicy, 2 mischievous boys who navigated childhood in the projects with curiosity and streetwise humor. Smokey, a recovering crack addict with a tender soul and boundless energy. Baby, Muriel's sharp-tongued sister, who brought her own brand of family drama. And Mrs. Avery, who terrorized Thurgood with gleeful disdain. These characters weren't just comic relief. They reflected the daily collisions of different generations, traumas, and survival strategies within a tightly packed space. The show made a deliberate effort to paint the projects as a diverse and textured place, not a one-dimensional symbol of poverty, but a living, breathing microcosm of urban America. Beyond its African American core, the PJs included Korean American shopkeepers, immigrant neighbors, and residents of various ethnic and cultural backgrounds, presenting the housing project not as a monolith, but as a mosaic. This diversity challenged the persistent media stereotypes that portrayed such communities as either hopeless or homogenous. Instead, the PJs suggested that despite the grime, the disrepair, and the struggle, there existed a kind of shared humanity, a stubborn, joyful complexity that defied easy labels.
Oh, very good. Look at all these things we can requisition. Replacement radiators, replacement windows, see plywood. Ah, here we are, replacement doors. Oh, isn't this fun?
What?
Good morning, I'm Muriel Stubbs.
Yes, and I'm Thurgood Stubbs, Chief Superintendent.
Feel this out.
Oh, for the love of, this is gonna take all day.
If you keep talking. Would you care for a cup of coffee, Mrs. Stubbs?
Oh, that would be lovely. Oh! Now, don't tell me these beautiful children are yours.
That's lasagna and chevron. Do you have any kids?
No. Thurgood has very weak sperm.
Muriel!
Doctor says they're lazy.
Here, I'm done. Hey! When should we expect delivery?
Careful, Thurgood. You're scraping it.
You smell that, boys? That's new door smell. Here, read the manual.
Why don't you read it, Super?
'Cause I got to do all the work, that's why.
Super can't read.
Ouch!
Congratulations on the purchase of your new Thugaway 2000. Hey, listen to this. Space-age polymers make this revolutionary door both the heaviest and the lightest ever built. Wow.
Hey! Now that's how you hang a door.
Well, what about this?
What about what? Now, who's ready to test it? All right, you had your fun. Come on, guns only for special occasions. Give me that. Come on, everybody. The ankle piece too juicy.
Oh. Fire in the hole! Now that's fire! That was dope! Whoa! Wow!
Just as we asked for our new door to protect us, we must ask for protection for our new door. So let us now bow our heads and all join hands as Haiti Lady leads us in the voodoo hex. Miss Haiti, if you'll be so kind.
For lifetime protection, need extra strong wanga juice.
No, hell no, no rooster blood.
Fine. Have it your way. There. That's good for 90 days, parts and labor.
Now, all you crackheads, out!
Deshaun, Babs, call me.
Come on, you two, let's go, let's go. Okay, Calvin, it's time.
Thurgood, what are you doing?
Al Roker predicted frost.
She'll be okay, won't she, Mary?
She'll be fine, Goody. Now come back to bed. You did such a good job on that door. I feel safer already.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet now. Hey, what was that?
What was what?
I thought I heard somebody scratching their name in my door. Listen, what the? L-A-V? LaVar? No, Laverne! Who the hell is Laverne?
Maybe they're just naming it for you.
Well, I already named her Dora. No, Doreen. That's even better.
Thurgood, this is the projects. You've got to expect a little wear and tear.
I guess you're right. God, Muriel. I really love that door.
Within this microcosm, the dilapidated hallways and open-air stoops of the Hilton Jacobs building became a social hub, a rumor mill, and a makeshift town square. News spread through gossip, neighbors leaned on each other in times of crisis, and conflicts, ranging from broken boilers to rogue animals, were often resolved not by institutions, but by collective grit and reluctant cooperation. Each episode offered a self-contained story rooted in communal experience, saving a cherished movie theater, reviving a defunct radio station, or surviving a particularly grimy Detroit-style Christmas. These were small stakes in the eyes of the outside world, but within the projects they meant everything. The humor of the PJs was sharp, irreverent, and deeply character-driven. Thurgood's dialogue, full of exaggerated expressions, unexpected pop culture nods, and wild exclamations, provided much of the show's comic rhythm. Whether muttering insults under his breath or unleashing verbal tirades like "you dried up old gargoyle" or "what on earth a kid is going on here," his lines showcased the writer's ability to blend absurdity with authenticity. Even his bravado had layers. When asked if he feared a local criminal, he quipped, "Fear is just one of the many words I don't know the meaning of." Beneath the bluster was a man who couldn't afford to be scared, who couldn't afford really to slow down at all.
What is this?
Just a little something to help you take care of the wear and tear.
yeah, that's very nice, but I'm sure it's fine.
Thurgood, go check on your door.
Well, if you're gonna worry about it all day, I guess I'll go check on it.
Come here, little sausage. Come here, little sausage. Hey. Oh, hi, Super.
Morning, Hudson.
Hey, I saw a Polaroid of the new door. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it? Maybe someday you'll be able to fit through it.
Oh, come on. You better stop.
Mother Mary and Barry. Door gone. Where at? Door. Not see door. Ooh, why? Door missing.
I did Lee Ho, Super. You wanna buy one?
You stole my door. You stole my door, didn't you?
Super, you cutting off the oxygen to my brain.
Good.
Very good.
Ah, this is low. This is low even for you.
You think I stole your door? Oh, Super. And I thought we were like this.
You must leave this place.
Come on. We don't want to be where we not wanted. Let's go to the public library.
There's got to be some way to get that door back.
Hey!
Tarnell! Hey! Tarnell!
What's up, Stu?
Shh. Look at the word on the street is you the man the folks go to when they need.
Tell Tarnell.
I need you to help me get our door back.
No problem, man. Can of corn.
No, it ain't gonna be as easy as no can of corn. See,
Can of corn.
They probably sold it.
Corn!
Now, see, the door could be anywhere.
Cream corn, Mother Hubbard.
Her name is Doreen.
Popcorn, Orville, Mother Hubbard, Radmacher brand.
But I just want
Damn, Mother Hubbard.
All right, as long as we understand each other. What on earth the kid?
This is what you wanted, right?
I said I wanted my door. You said it'd be a can of corn.
I said that.
I wanted my Thugaway 2000.
Thugaway? I know what that is. Everybody know what that is.
Hey, yo, Juicy, it's Calvin.
Hey, Calvin.
I'm going to help Super get the door back. You coming?
Okay. Hang on. Mama! I'm going now!
Juicy, don't forget you know what?
I got it! My son. We've been looking for 5 hours. We never gonna find that door.
Hey, stop all your complaining. Holy Moses Malone!
But Super, wait.
Open up! You got my door! Open up right now! Open this damn...
What you want?
Hey, hi. Oh.
Leave.
What I miss? Uh-oh. Peace.
Okay.
The language of the show felt lived in. It was bawdy, sometimes biting, but rarely cruel. The characters cursed, joked, cheered, and clashed with a rhythm that echoed real communities, where hardship often breeds humor, and where people tease as much as they care. Thurgood, though often wrong, remained relatable in his fallibility. He was in many ways a stand-in for anyone trying to keep things together with too few tools and too much weight on their back. The PJs didn't just echo the sitcoms that came before, it reimagined them. Where shows like All in the Family or Sanford and Son centered working class frustration within nuclear families or small shops, the PJs expanded the scope to a whole vertical neighborhood. Its characters didn't just share a living room, they shared walls, ceilings, and collective headaches. And unlike many classic sitcoms, its community was shaped by race, class, and migration in ways that reflected the late 20th century urban experience more honestly than most primetime comedies dared. The result was a series with a tone both gritty and affectionate, a comedy rooted in struggle, yet suffused with care. It dared to find laughter amid decay and connection in chaos. In doing so, the PJs gave voice to a corner of America often left in shadow, rendering it not as a problem to fix, but as a world worth understanding. Beneath its claymation slapstick and rapid-fire gags, the PJs grappled with serious, often sobering themes, most notably class, community, and survival in America's overlooked corners. Though its surface was sculpted in foam and humor, the show pulsed with what NPR aptly described as biting, frank, class-conscious humor. Each episode might begin with a busted boiler or a meddlesome neighbor, but underneath was a deeper portrait of the economic precarity that defined life in the projects. Bills pile up, government funding is always scarce, and even basic repairs come at a steep cost, material or emotional. For Thurgood and his neighbors, just getting through the week is often an act of quiet defiance against a system that forgets them. Money woes, HUD inspections, jammed toilets, and broken elevators aren't just plot points. They're constant reminders of how poverty seeps into every corner of life. The show doesn't just satirize these pressures, it inhabits them. And yet, rather than wallow in bleakness, the PJs balances its social critique with something rare in television: empathy. The characters may be exaggerated, but their struggles are rooted in truth. A neighbor's health scare, a frozen rent lock, or a lost job hit with a familiar sting. These aren't just gags, they're snapshots of life under pressure, where humor becomes a coping mechanism, not a mask. What makes the PJs enduringly powerful is its deep belief in community. The Lawrence Hilton Jacobs projects are not portrayed as isolated tenements of despair, but as a vibrant, chaotic, and fundamentally connected world. Its tenants, Black, Korean American, Latino, elderly, immigrant, are all tethered by the realities of shared space and mutual struggle. As NPR noted, the PJs shows Americans and immigrants of different races coming together, not through lofty ideals but out of daily necessity. They gossip on stoops, fight over hallway noise, and lend a hand or a wrench when the heat goes out. It's messy, loud, and utterly human. This diversity wasn't a television gimmick, it reflected the true makeup of many urban communities, where lines between cultures blur in the cracks of old buildings. Korean shopkeepers, undocumented squatters, devout churchgoers, petty criminals, and hopeful kids all lived in the same vertical village. The show rejected the myth of the projects as a homogeneous space, instead showing the nuanced mix of backgrounds, accents, and stories that define inner-city life. In doing so, the PJs aligned itself with the long tradition of working-class sitcoms, from Good Times to Roseanne to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it carved out its own space by unapologetically centering voices on the economic and racial margins. Yet the PJs was also a balancing act, walking a fine and sometimes uneasy line between satire and sincerity. On one hand, it leaned into absurdity. Thurgood's building often resembled a cartoon castle of calamities, with malfunctioning pipes, mutant rats, and tenants who seemed one inconvenience away from chaos. But on the other hand, the show insisted these are people, not punchlines. Their flaws weren't the sum of their character, and their dignity wasn't contingent on being perfect. This, according to co-creator Larry Wilmore, was the point. The show wasn't about reinforcing stereotypes, it was about exposing and sometimes deflating the tropes that already saturated media portrayals of poor Black communities. Like the socially charged sitcoms of Norman Lear, the PJs deliberately featured archetypes: a thieving ex-con, a gambling auntie, a spaced-out addict, not to mock them, but to recontextualize them. As Wilmore put it, if a Black actor played a crack addict on a gritty police drama like NYPD Blue, he might win an Emmy, but put the same character in a cartoon, and suddenly it's offensive. The problem, Wilmore argued, was not the content, but the context in which people were willing to accept hard truths.
This is where Thurgood Arnthal Stubbs draws the line. Teach them to take my door.
Thurgood, you're not thinking about trying to get that door back.
You bet your shabazz I am.
Thurgood, sometimes it's best to just let things go.
Muriel, they stole Doreen.
Remember when our stereo was stolen? We let it go. And when our sofa was stolen, we let it go. And when someone took our signed picture of the Reverend Al Sharpton, well, that was returned, but we were more than willing to let it go.
You don't understand, Muriel. They stole my dignity.
Yes, but, you know, I think you can get by.
Now I'm ready. Come on, Beverly.
Goody, please. These people are dangerous. You could get hurt. Oh, it's just not worth it.
Look, don't worry. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'll fix that later.
Fat Daddy, what you think you doing?
I'm taking back my door. That's what I'm doing.
Your door?
Damn right, my door. Let me tell you something, boy. This door belongs to the Hilton Jacobs Projects. And that's exactly where it's going.
The Hilton Jacobs Projects, huh? I forget. What gang controls the Hilton Jacobs Projects?
We ain't got no gangs there. Just hard-working, decent folk like myself. Now get out my way, boy.
Hold up, old man. I think we can help you out.
Hey, there you go. Now that's more like it. Now maybe when you're not so busy peddling your goofy dust, you realize what a good thing you done. All right. Y'all all excused. Go on, break it up. Go on, get.
I think we gonna stay a while.
What? What'd you say to a nice back rub? You know, I got very strong hands from working on pipes. I can get that knot out your back.
Indeed, the PJs often asked viewers to hold two ideas at once, that Thurgood could be wrong but still decent, that Mrs. Avery's cruelty masked care, that Muriel's calm was a kind of power. These characters stumble, lash out, and falter, but they also show up, fix what's broken, and carry each other. When Muriel starts a community radio show to uplift the building, or when Thurgood, despite all his complaining, personally unclogs a neighbor's toilet, we see the heart beating underneath the humor. The show dared to be crass and compassionate at once, a blend that proved both provocative and rare. Unsurprisingly, the PJs sparked controversy. Its Rotten Tomatoes score for Season 1, a middling 50%, suggests a divided reception. Some critics hailed its visual innovation and daring premise, others questioned its tone. The Deseret News praised the animation but felt the comedy was not so hot. But among black audiences, the reaction was more intense. Director Spike Lee publicly condemned the show, calling it hateful towards black people and very demeaning. His words landed with force, framing the show as a cultural betrayal rather than a critique. The NAACP initially held back but voiced concerns after early screenings, particularly about scenes that leaned into harmful imagery. One especially contentious moment featured Thurgood swigging malt liquor in stereotypical fashion, prompting a walkout by one NAACP chapter. In response, the producers agreed to revise the character, scaling back his drinking after the first 13 episodes. It was a telling moment in the show's short life, an acknowledgement that satire does not always land as intended, especially when wounds are still fresh and narratives still scarce. This tension between intention and impact, between lampooning and loving, defined the PJ's legacy. Was it laughing at its characters or with them? Was it mocking poverty or challenging its portrayal? Depending on who you asked, it was either a groundbreaking social satire or an offensive misfire. Perhaps in truth it was both, an ambitious experiment that sometimes stumbled but never stopped trying to humanize lives that TV too often erases. What remains clear is that the PJs dared to enter uncomfortable territory with honesty, humor, and boldness. It didn't always get it right, but it asked questions that still matter. Who gets to tell stories about the poor? Who decides what's offensive? And can we laugh at pain without making it a punchline? In an industry still reckoning with representation, the PJs stands as a flawed but fearless testament to what animation and comedy can do when it chooses to look directly at the world rather than away from it.
I'll take that. And that. Peace.
Oh, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I was able to get your beans past them, but T-Dog picked out all the pork cubes.
This just ain't right.
But look, I got you a surprise. It's soap for your carvings. You want to work on your civil rights chess set? Looks to me like we still need a white Dr. King.
Oh, Mary, what's the point when you keep bathing with my Bishop Tutus?
See here, it's not me that you're mad at. I didn't bring that gang into the sanctuary of our home. You're misdirecting your anger.
Yeah, that's true. That's what Oprah say.
Thurgood, you've got to stop blaming yourself. No one else is blaming you.
No, they're not, huh?
Of course not. Remember, this building is your family.
Super, the gang's taking over this building.
I know, my bad.
There were 3 drive-bys today.
They're bad.
I'm scared.
They're scary.
You know they violated me.
Oh, God, they're crazy.
Come on, I can't even hear myself think. Ain't you never heard of a silencer? Hey!
I believe that's bullet takes pawn. If you're not careful, you're going to lose your castle.
There, little homie.
No, not Calvin.
Now you look like a big homie.
That's it. This ends right now. That gang has gone too far. Too far, Muriel.
Thurgood, you're not gonna do something drastic.
I never thought that I'd say these words. Muriel, I'm calling the police.
Oh, but Thurgood, just because a gang is threatening our lives is no reason to sell out to the man.
Well, I'm sorry, Muriel. It is time to drop dime.
Your phone cannot access this number.
They've got the call blocking. I shouldn't have called from the projects. Well, I'm gonna just have to make a run for it.
Oh, but the nearest police station is 123 blocks. You'll never make it.
Don't have to. I start running down the street with this, they'll find me. Now we need a diversion. Okay, ready on the speed dial.
Ready.
Now! Muriel, they died to me. Better hurry up. Better do something quick.
Any second now.
You hold up, I gotta pay.
You gotta
No,
pay.
that's yours.
You ain't got no damn.
I think that's mine.
Oh, man, look at...
Hey, come back here.
You don't need a key to go through death's door.
Open up, Doreen. It's me, Thurgood. Smokey, what are you doing here?
Stealing your door. But if this is a bad time...
Hey, that's shooting at the super.
Why would the super use his superpowers?
Super is short for superintendent.
Oh, he gonna die.
Smokey, I just want you to know, if we die...
Papa.
No, I'm not your daddy. Yeah, you done made me forget my dying words.
Damn, man, we ain't got no more caps. That's all right, we don't need no guns. There's only 2 of them.
Make that 10 of them.
Let's get them.
T-Dog's mine.
Man, this place is whack. Let's get out of here.
And don't come back or you'll feel the business end of a juju stick.
Yeah, lucky for you, I'm a shut-in.
Good job, Super. Good job, Super.
Hey, ain't y'all forgetting something? We ain't got no door. Super destroyed it, trying to save his life. Always thinking about himself.
Hey, what about our old door?
Probably sold it.
No, he didn't. It's right over there.
We could fix it up and paint it and treat it right this time.
Old door! Old door! Old door!
This is the best Christmas ever.
Okay. Come on, everybody. Party at my mattress, baby.
See, Thurgood, it's true. Whenever God steals a door, somewhere, he smashes in a window.
Muriel, that's beautiful. Yeah, I thought not.
From the start, the PJs demanded a kind of double vision from its viewers, one eye on the outrageous surface, the other on the deeper satire beneath. When critics accused the show of trafficking in stereotypes, creators Larry Wilmore and Steve Tompkins responded not with denial, but with explanation. The characters, they insisted, were never meant to speak for all African Americans, any more than Jerry Seinfeld speaks for all Jews, or Homer Simpson for all working class dads. These were individuals, exaggerated, flawed, and deeply human. Their quirks weren't indictments of a culture, they were part of the show's effort to portray the black working class with humor, edge, and complexity. Wilmore often invoked the legacy of Richard Pryor, a comic genius who portrayed addicts, fools, and hustlers not to degrade, but to expose truth through laughter. Pryor's characters could be reckless or tragic, but they were always alive, always real. So Wilmore asked, why couldn't the PJs do the same, even in animated form? Why should poor or black characters only be shown as noble victims or sanitized archetypes? It's not just people being funny, he said. It's smart too. That idea that intelligence and irreverence could coexist was central to the show's mission. In this light, the PJs wasn't just a lampoon of life in the projects, it was a study in community leadership, of how power and responsibility manifest in spaces overlooked by formal systems. Thurgood Orenthal Stubbs, the building superintendent, is no politician or savior. He's often selfish, quick-tempered, and ill-equipped, but he's also the man who knows the building best. He mediates arguments between tenants, faces off with HUD officials, and tries, however clumsily, to hold the place together. Whether leading a Christmas planning committee or presiding over an elevator memorial, Thurgood becomes the glue of the Lawrence projects. His leadership is imperfect, but it is local, real, and forged in hardship. Others lead in quieter ways. Muriel, Thurgood's wife, commands through calm integrity, grounding the building with her compassion. Even the acerbic Mrs. Avery, Thurgood's nemesis in many episodes, embodies an elder's authority. Beneath her barbs lies a wisdom, survival, and a fierce loyalty to the community. Together, these figures sketch a model of grassroots leadership, not heroic outsiders coming to save the hood, but insiders often overlooked who know its needs, rhythms, and scars. In one moment of comic bravado, Thurgood shouts, "I'm getting Cuba good and ready to kick you butt." The line is absurd but layered. It blends machismo, pop culture reference, and pride in black excellence, all delivered by a man struggling to hold on to his dignity and his job. In that moment, comedy becomes cultural commentary. Despite the backlash, the PJs earned its share of recognition. It won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Voiceover Performance for Jeanette Dubois, and took home an Annie Award for Animation. These honors signaled what many in the industry quietly acknowledged. Beneath its controversy, the show was a creative and technical achievement. Its characters were voiced with nuance and heart, its scripts were sharp, and its stop-motion animation, rare then and even rarer now, was groundbreaking. Over time, the PJs has found a second life as a cult classic. While critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave its first season a lukewarm 50%, audiences tell a different story. Its viewer score remains around 83%, reflecting enduring affection. For those who grew up watching it, especially in black and brown communities, it became a shared reference point, a show that, for all its rough edges, looked and sounded like us. Looking back, the show's creators still see it as an ambitious, imperfect experiment. "It was the most boundary-pushing show I ever made," Wilmore said in a retrospective interview. That boundary was never just about profanity or political incorrectness. It was about confronting where race, class, and comedy intersect, about pushing back on the idea that satire could only come from the top down. The PJs wasn't a feel-good sitcom, but it was, in its own chaotic way, a feel-true one. And that perhaps is its real legacy, a show that dared to depict hardship with humor, flawed people with love, and a neighborhood not as a stereotype, but as a living, breathing world. Loud, messy, and worth laughing with. Its legacy is complex, layered like the crumbling walls of the building it so lovingly depicts. On one level, the PJs is unmistakably a product of its era, a dark, often absurd urban comedy that dared to poke fun at housing authority dysfunction, substance abuse, and economic despair. But on another, deeper level, it remains strikingly relevant because the questions it raises haven't gone away. What does it mean to lead when the world has written you off? How do we represent poor and working class lives on screen with empathy, satire, or a volatile mix of both? Can laughter coexist with pain, and can cartoons tell the truth? That spirit of reluctant resilience pulses throughout the PJs. Muriel's warmth, Smokey's optimism, Mrs. Avery's tough love wisdom, Calvin and Juicy's mischievous spark. Each character carries a piece of the larger story, that even in environments shaped by poverty and neglect, community thrives. Laughter becomes a survival tactic. Kindness hides behind insults. Dignity is fought for moment by moment between leaking ceilings and broken elevators. As we step back from this stop-motion world, what remains is more than nostalgia. The PJs dared to animate not just bodies, but burdens. It turned clay into characters, and characters into commentary. Few shows have walked this particular tightrope between satire and sympathy, grit and goofiness with such audacity. Whether you see it as a controversial misstep or a neglected milestone, it stands as a rare experiment in television, a show that tried to laugh without looking away. Ultimately, the PJs reminds us that the walls of the projects, though cracked and crumbling, don't only contain hardship, they also hold resilience, community, humor, and hope, and that across those walls, what connects people matters more than what divides them. The show's magic was never just in its animation. It was in its ability to give voice to characters who, even when silenced by systems, still found ways to speak and to be heard.
I'm a crack test dummy.
That's crash test dummy.
Okay, but let's hurry before my right stuff wear off.
All right. Are you ready, Smokey?
Ready? No, Badge. Let me do the talking. No, but I did hear something. A rattling noise. Now, at first, I thought it was Deshaun's tubercular death rattle, but I looked over and he was the picture of health. Okay, let's get cracking.
My magazines! Why the hell would you burn my magazines?
You don't need them. MSQ's online now.
You don't build a fire in the middle of a room, you damn fool! I want you out of here right now. Come on, let's go. Now, let's go!
I don't blame you. If I were you, I'd want to throw me out too, and I'd be sad because I couldn't.
Smokey!
Quickly, we must go. The sewer people are easily startled, but soon they'll be back and in even greater numbers.
Yeah, look, I ain't even need your help. I was doing just fine on my own.
Super, I don't know if you realize this, but they were gonna eat you.
Eat me? Hey, wait up, Smokey. Don't get too far ahead there. I'm right behind you. Wait up!
Oh, I should have known that a delicate flower with a bud as big as yours would be plucked by now. What prince of a man finally snared you?
Yon fellow.
Muriel, you know Don Ken?
We went out a few times years ago. It was before we were married.
It was before we met, huh?
It was before we were married.
I must say, I'm flattified, Muriel. You're still wearing that sweatsuit I bought you on our trip to Paris.
Alrighty, Mr. Stubbs. Let's open wide, shall we? Great Caesar's ghost. You never get used to that. Nurse, clamp. Much better.
Doctor, stop! He's got HUD dental insurance.
HUD insurance? Why don't you just try and pay me in beaver pelts?
Well, I have spent the best years of my life keeping this place in tip-top shape. I thought not. And now I predict HUD will finally say that I am, without a doubt, their biggest asset. Now, aren't you going to hit me with your tractor beam or your phasers or your integration ray?
Yes, of course. Engage tractor beam.
Oh, hi, Goody. Mr. Sanchez told me the HUD inspector was here.
Oh, hell no! You come in here touching all over my husband in my own home? Do you want to dance with the snowman? Come on, let's get it on.
Well, what have we got here? Looks like Homeboy thinks he's a regular Macy's.
Bye, have a beautiful time.